What's good, folks? Welcome back to the Furnished Mind. And remember, Christ is King. Let's go. Joe Rogan had Elon Musk on his podcast discussing various topics, but this segment here, he'll be discussing his 2 cents on George Soros. Of course, Elon Musk famously purchased Twitter, also CEO of Tesla, SpaceX. And overall, George Soros, he just comes off as a complete villain. He's in that category, that same tier. I would put like a Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. He's a multi-billionaire, meddles in American politics. He throws a lot of money at our nation for a very specific reason, and that's because we are an obstacle to the New World Order. You can't have a nation as powerful, as great, and as loud, as boisterous as we are, declaring individual liberties, free speech, the right to bear arms, because that gets in the way of what they want, which is a totalitarian one world government. China is the best blueprint that exists right now. It's a good rough draft for what they envision for the world to be like. They want they want for us to have a new normal, right? Where it's communism, where government controls the means of production. Speech is not limited but censored for your own safety, quote unquote. There's no access to guns specifically. There's no right to bear arms. But let's go ahead and just dive in before I just kind of keep going on. Let's dive into what Elon Musk has to say on the topic. Here we go.
I mean, Soros actually, he is, I believe, the top contributor to the Democratic Party. The second one was Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
So, and Soros, I don't know. I mean, he had a very difficult upbringing, in my opinion, he fundamentally hates humanity. That's my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, he's doing things that erode the fabric of civilization. Getting DAs elected who refuse to prosecute crime. That's part of the problem in San Francisco and LA and a bunch of other cities.
And RP to all those great cities. San Fran has become a complete wasteland. Chicago, they just went through Lori Lightfoot, only to get another mayor in office who is softer on crime than she is. Chicago is going to collapse because of the crime. Looting has become normalized. People are not even afraid. I mean, obviously, California, Governor Gavin Newsom is as soft as can be. He's even passing legislation that makes it even difficult for store owners to even do anything about it. They're defenseless. He's disarming business owners from even keeping their community safe, keeping the criminals off the street, because the moment they get arrested, they're right back to what they were doing in the first place. But anyways, let's continue.
Why would you do that?
Was it humanity, or is it just the United States as a whole?
He's pushing things in other countries too,
He's
not
doing
just
the
here.
same thing.
Yeah. Now, George, at this point.
Before I continue, just a quick thought on what he just said. United States has to be targeted primarily, not first. Let me just say primarily, and that's because they're, like I said, we still are a beacon of hope to the rest of the world. As long as we exist, people will still believe that their individual liberties matter. Why have the Second Amendment? It's in the day that our government goes usurpacious in nature, we can overthrow it and establish another one. But for someone who's advocating for a one world government, they want government to come off as infallible. They don't want the people, the general population, believing that the government makes mistakes, can fall short. In fact, if something happens and they do fall short, their response would be it's because of dissident amongst the general population. There's somebody out there who's working against us, the people, and it's for you, the people, to figure out who that person is so we can eliminate them. That's how they would address their mistakes in this whole one world government situation. But that's why they have to attack America first, because under this communist one world totalitarian regime that's going to sweep the entire world, we can't have freedoms. We can't have the idea even planted in the mind of a child, because that's going to lead to revolution.
Point is pretty old. I mean, he's not, you know, he's basically a bit senile at this point. But I mean, and he's very smart. And he's very good at arbitrage. You know, famously, he shorted the British pound. That's sort of how I think he made his first money, was shorting the pound. So he's good at spotting, basically arbitrage, like spotting value for money that other people don't see. So one of the things he noticed was that that the value for money in local races is much higher than it is in national races. So the lowest value for money is a presidential race. Then next lowest value for money is a Senate race, then a Congress, and but once you get to sort of city and state district attorneys, the value for money is extremely good. And Soros realized that you don't actually need to change the laws, you just need to change how they're enforced. If nobody chooses to enforce the law, or the laws are differentially enforced, it's like changing the laws. That's
Wow, listen to how Elon is dropping gems right there. Overall, I think Elon Musk is spot on. I think this is like a well-orchestrated plan to slowly but surely erode the power and the influence of the U.S. I know, even myself, I've noticed how common it is to see like anti-American rhetoric all over social media. Most of the time, I believe it's bots that are paid for. It could be under it could be under National Geographic photos. There'll be somebody saying, Americans are dumb, or America's stupid, or imagine being from America. Like, there's so much, it's part of the process. There has to be a moral decay. First, they'll destroy your image. Then they'll destroy the confidence and the mentality of all citizens of that said nation. And it's working. It's normal to see somebody who's liberal, somebody who's on the left, to outright just despise their own country. And it makes no sense at all. It's like slicing off the branch that you're sitting on. It's like, why do you guys speak in such a manner about the very country you live in? A house divided against itself cannot stand. What can you do to enact change to make this place better? But instead, everybody on the left wants to sit around and point their finger and say why we're the dumbest country. It's like, bruh, come on, guys. You're only contributing to our downfall. And if we collapse, what do you think is going to happen? You think the world's going to rush to the aid of specifically liberals? Oh, you guys are on the left. Okay, we're gonna separate you from the rest of everyone else, and we're gonna rescue you from this house fight. No, we're all gonna collapse. We're all gonna fall together. That's the end of it. The world is not gonna care if America collapses tomorrow. They're not coming to your rescue. But anyways, I believe that's overall the main mission of George Soros. I feel like that's the passion he has this phase in his life, and that's to help usher in the new world order. Even if he doesn't get to live to see it actually happens, he's going to spend his billions of dollars, his power and influence, in trying to make that happen. So right now, like he said, George Soros, he believes fundamentally hates America. I would have to second that. Or sorry, he fundamentally hates humanity. I would have to second that. He does have a special place in his heart for his hatred of America as well. But other than that, you guys let me know your thoughts. Elon Musk, is he spot on? Or is George Soros doing something that we just can't see that benefits humanity? Let me know down in the comments. Deuces.